even if we're not aware of it, even if we don't want to. We're creating our reality. Hi everyone, it's Mel here on my daily Facebook live videos, helping you how to understand how we work so that you can be an intentional creator of your reality with absolute confidence and peace. And the way that you're going to learn this is by learning the principles of our minds and the science behind manifestations. So that means it's the science behind the woo-woo, and actually breaks down the woo-woo so that you can see it's almost like mathematics. It's like 1 + 1 = 2. And when you know how we work underneath the bonnet, then whatever we do, we're gonna feel so confident, but like we would be relentless. And it really doesn't matter when you start, because as you get more evidence with creating anything that you want, the faster things become. And then you'll start doing a checklist like what I'm doing of the things that I want to achieve before I finally kick the bucket. So I actually remembered this when I started putting the puzzle together about manifestations. And what most people, or what many people think manifestations is, and what I thought what manifestations was for a long time, was that it was woo-woo. It was unexplainable and almost like a magic that I wished was true, but I kind of in a way thought there's something that most of these gurus are not saying, and once I start digging into it, I'm going to find the secret of it. And I was expecting it to be something woo-woo, and the more that I went into it, the more that I delved into manifestations, I realized that manifestation wasn't as sexy or as magical as I thought it was. There is a part of it that is magical. It's something that we all use anyway, and it's the science. Scientists are using things like quantum physics. There's a lot of the things that scientists accept but cannot prove, and that's the next stage. But what I'm sharing with you right now is the stuff that we can prove. That then leads to the stuff that can't be proven but just accepted, but works like magic. So the way that I'm sharing manifestations with you is the stuff that I wished somebody would have explained to me so simply in this journey, so that I wouldn't have been doubting myself all those years, getting in the way of myself and thinking, worrying about things like what people think, worried about how I look like, worried about if I was getting things right, because little did I know all these things were just roadblocks in getting in my way. So hopefully with the videos I'm sharing with you, you'll start putting the puzzle together much quicker than myself, because I'm trying my best to explain it so that it's as clear as possible. But I can't share it with one video. I'm sharing with you lots of different ways, because from my understanding through my journey of trying to figure things out and working with my clients, is that we process information so differently. And so today, like I said, I'm going to share with you one of the things that I realized we are manifesting all the time. And like I said, most of the mainstream manifesting coaches and teachers and books and whatever it is, they make it sound really woo-woo. But what I learned is manifestation only means one thing. It means something that doesn't exist. Something only exists in thought, then becomes reality. On yesterday's video, I think I explained that manifestations is as simple as making a cup of tea. Not as easy, but as simple. So if you've never made a cup of tea in your life, the chances are when we were born as a baby, we never thought I want a cup of tea. You would have had to seen it. You would have had to desire it. You would have wanted to make a cup of tea. I mean, if you didn't even want a cup of tea, why would you desire having a cup of tea? And that's the first stage of manifestations. You have to, first of all, really want what you want. So, and then the second stage is creating that into reality. So that is basically it. It's something that doesn't exist. It's in the mind. It's a desire. You think about it and then you make it into reality so that you're drinking your cup of tea. So before you thought about it and then you're drinking your cup of tea. And that is what manifestations is all about. There is other parts to it, which is the magic part, which I will eventually talk about, because I think missing this part out for me just held me back to whatever I wanted to do in life. So when I started going back to look for the evidence how I had always been a natural manifester, and it's not just me, I realized it's just how we work. It's just how we work as a human being. We are naturally creating all the time, even if we're not aware of it, even if we don't want to. We're creating our reality. So my example, one of the biggest things that I'm going to share with you is how to create your reality intentionally. Because actually, I'm going to go back. What do you mean we're creating our reality, even if we don't want to? It's like, if we take it to the most recent, from now, the current state now. I woke up this morning, I then brushed my teeth. That's my one reality, that I woke up and brushed my teeth. Or I could have just stayed in bed. That's two versions of reality I could have done. I could have stayed in bed all day long because I was lazy and then didn't do anything all day, or just sat around and did nothing all day long. There you go. Voila! Nothing magical there. I could have just stayed in bed all day long. But today I had the intentions to go shopping. I went out shopping, and then I had the intention to take my daughter to the park. That's how I created reality. That is nothing magical. And that is what manifestation is about. But the problem is, and it doesn't work out. It's like I wanted to take my daughter out to the park, and then the car didn't work. Would I still take her to the park? Well, my intention, my desire is that, yes, I want to take my daughter to the park. That's what I promised. That's what I want to. So would I give up the idea of taking her to the park? Well, there's so many so many different options, but let's say that I really, really want to take her to the park and the car broke down. Would I give up? No. So I decided to look for a different way to get to the park. So in the end, we walked to the park, but I could have taken a bicycle. I could have, phoned my dad to take us to the park. And once we get to the park, that's it. Manifestation from a thought to reality. That is it. However, it gets a little bit tricky when it comes to things like attracting your soulmate. It's not about waking up, deciding, right, I want to manifest my dream soulmate, because it's not like deciding and then going to the shop and picking your dream soulmate, is it? But the principles of those steps of meeting your soulmate is the same. The same with being financially free. Live like earning a lot of money. It's the same as having your ideal body. It's the same for freedom with food. It's the same for stopping addictions. It's the same for self-sabotage. It's the same for fear of public speaking, fear of being visible right now. What do you think I'm doing? Believe it or not, I've had a fear of showing up live on videos for a long time. I used to have clammy, and then my voice would shake. I could barely. A few years ago, you would notice, because I was manifesting. I was manifesting who I really wanted to be. And on another video, I shared that the easiest way to get what you want is be who you want to be right now, through the fear, through everything, even if it's a whole mess. You don't get it right. Don't make the cup of tea right. You miss out the milk. You don't boil the kettle. The car breaks down. Whatever. As long as you know what you want, you don't give up. You keep trying a different route. Take the bicycle. Go for a walk. Catch a lift. It's the same principles, even when you are manifesting or you're trying to manifest something big. And the only difference is the time. The time is different depending on how much you get in your way.